So, is your Glock now illegal to possess? Well, no, we're going to talk about it, but it's getting closer and closer to that reality. They're making it harder, they being Sacramento, to own a Glock, the most popular self-defense tool, the most effective self-defense tool in the United States. So they're making it harder for you to own it unless you're a cop, unless you're the government, or unless you're a criminal. This isn't going to apply to you. It isn't going to help you. It's only going to apply to the criminals. So really, Glocks are becoming harder and harder for law-abiding men and women to be used as a self-defense tool. But criminals, they're still good to go. So let's talk about exactly what's going on. There's a bill, AB 1127, and it's making its way through Sacramento. In essence, what it's going to do is it's going to make it illegal for a dealer to sell a Glock or similar pistol. There's this illegal piece, we talked about it last week, but it's a little piece that you can put on your Glock. You have to make it. It's not like they sell it in stores. It's this do-it-yourself. And some of the older Glock models, you can attach it to the Glock, and then it'll actually turn it into a full auto Glock. Some of the newer Glocks, they have a piece in there that prevents this do-it-yourself illegal device from being installed. But Sacramento took this as an opportunity to introduce a bill to further erode your Second Amendment rights by making it so that any firearm that can accept this illegal do-it-yourself home manufactured piece that turns it into a full auto makes the entire gun illegal for law-abiding citizens to buy from a dealer. Most extreme way to handle this that I can even think of. It's a very extreme anti-gun law. Now, this bill, when a bill is introduced, it goes through various committees. There are a bunch of different subcommittees in the Assembly and the Senate, and they discuss it. Specifically, is this legal? Is this constitutional? How much money is this going to cost? Where they talk about specific parts of this bill and how it will affect the state. Most recently, it was in the Judiciary Committee, where they basically talk about, hey, does it pass legal muster? And it actually passed that committee, which is unreal. Now, the anti-gunners outnumber the pro-Second Amendment folks in that committee. Am I surprised that it's passed? Well, I'm not shocked, but it's still pretty surprising that anyone can make the case that AB 1127, if implemented, would be constitutional. Now, I wanted to show you a quick video. Sam Paredes from Gun Owners of California, who is an awesome guy and does a fantastic job. He gave a speech to this committee and talked about just how bad this bill is, and I wanted you to see from him directly because he did such a great job.
Mr. Chairman and members, Sam Paredes representing Gun Owners of California and the California Rifle and Pistol Association. We heard this bill, and this bill was heard in the Assembly Public Safety Committee, and I want to point out a couple of things that were said today in the testimony. First of all, these things are already illegal. It is illegal to convert any firearm into full auto. It is illegal to possess, under federal law, felony. So criminals are somehow able to acquire these things, but law-abiding citizens are not. Now, mind you, this is pre-crime. You're making something that is already illegaler, on the hope that you're going to somehow make criminals comply with the law. Nothing can be further from the truth. Also, this is the Judiciary Committee. It is very important that you understand that under the Heller versus Washington, D.C., the Supreme Court said that anything that is in common use for lawful purposes cannot be banned. It is unconstitutional. That's what they said for the federal government. Then, 2 years later, in McDonald versus Chicago, the court came back and said that is so important, we're going to apply it to the states. Then Caetano said 200,000 stun guns was common use. We have millions of Glocks. And then the Bruen decision came and said that when the Second Amendment is implicated, that it is the burden of the government to prove that the law they are considering has some source of reference with the text, the history, and tradition of gun laws in America. This law does not. And the one big concern we have is the exemption of DOJ from the Administrative Protection Act, Procedures Act, which means they can do whatever they want, any way they want, and why they want. And finally, I will close with this, and I appreciate the indulgence of the extra time, Mr. Chairman. This will go to court, and we will win. We are winning on this issue in other courts in the country. Ultimately, it is going to be the taxpayers of the state of California that are going to have to pay our attorneys when we ultimately win this issue in courts. That's a fact. That's a fact. Thank you.
Thank
For
you.
these
Yeah.
reasons, we oppose
I
this.
appreciate there was just one witness.
So that's Sam Paredes. And as always, that guy is spot on and right. He's such a great guy. Gun owners of California is so fortunate to have him. We're all fortunate to have him as well. Wonderful, wonderful guy. Explained it extremely well. Now, like I said, there's a lot of anti-gunners on that committee. There's a lot of anti-gunners in the assembly in general, and of course in the state senate as well. Sacramento is not friendly. They're very hostile to gun owners. But there are a few pro-Second Amendment folks, and there were two people that voted against this. I wanted to bring your attention to one person who wouldn't vote against it. She's a Republican in Orange County. Her name's Diane Dixon. I don't know why she wouldn't vote against this extreme anti-gun bill. I called her office and asked for an explanation, and the staffer said they wouldn't give me an explanation. They just said that Assemblymember Diane Dixon, who's the vice chair of the Judiciary Committee, will have an opportunity to vote on this bill again. So they wouldn't explain her vote. All they said is, hey, she's going to vote on this thing again. Well, Diane Dixon is actually running for County Board of Supervisors in Orange County as a Republican. So I think we need to let her know how we feel about her not voting against 1127, AB 1127. So I need you to, we're going to have a link to email her in this video. So email her immediately and tell her how frustrated you are that she didn't vote against AB 1127. Call her office and let them know how frustrated you are that she didn't vote against AB 1127. That's 949-798-7221. So you want to encourage her to vote against AB 1127. We need to make sure that she understands she's going to have a real hard time getting elected for anything in Orange County, in California, in that district, if she continues to ignore or take advantage of or take for granted Second Amendment people in her district. So please email her and call her right now. Make sure that she gets on the right page. We have a rare opportunity to let her know exactly how we feel about this. Okay, so that's AB 1127.